Hello everyone. I am Dr. Aditi Kale, PhD in Management and MSc in Statistics, presently working as Management and Statistical Consultant. I am having around 23 years of teaching experience. Today, let us understand what is a transportation problem. Transportation problem is a special case of linear programming problem. The problem, which consists of more than one source of the required material and more than one destination, comes under transportation problem. The cost of transportation per unit from one source to one destination differs with the other. The reasons are mode of transportation, distance between the two ends, demand of the product at market, and raw material availability at source. Through graphically, we can see it like this. If there are three sources, that is S1, S2, S3, and four destinations D1, D2, D3, D4, let us consider three factories named by S1, S2, S3 and four markets named as D1, D2, D3, D4. When I have to send material from S1 to these four destinations D1, D2, D3, D4, four different paths can be formed like this. Similarly, for S2 there could be different paths and for S3 there will be different paths. Mode of transportation of material from these sources to these destinations may be different, like if the destination is very close by, you can just send the material through a cart, or you may need a big truck for it, or it could be sent through a small tempo traveler. Like this, the destination and the source may have a different distance, may have different sources of sending the material. In some cases it could be ships or it could be aeroplanes, and therefore the cost of transportation differs from source to destination. Let us understand the transportation problem with the help of a problem. The company has three production facilities and four warehouses. The transportation costs in rupees from factory to warehouses are given below in the table. Find the transportation schedule to minimize the cost. So this is a transportation problem given. Here S1, S2, S3 are the three sources, D1, D2, D3, D4 are the four destinations. Cost of transportation per unit from S1 to D1 is given as rupees 19, from S1 to D2 is given as rupees 30, and so on. Similarly, the availability at each source is also given, like in S1 7 units are available, at S2 9 units are available, at S3 18 units are available. So also the demand changes of each destination. The D1 has 5 units of demand, D2 has 8, D3 7 and D4 14 units. We want to solve this problem with the help of transportation problem. Let us understand how the methods work. There are different methods available to solve the to get the initial basic feasible solution of transportation. Let us first understand what is a balance problem. Calculate the total demand, calculate the total supply. If the total demand is equal to total supply, we call it as a balance problem. But if it is not equal, we call it as unbalanced problem. To solve the transportation problem, we need to have the problem as a balanced problem. To make any unbalanced problem a balanced problem, if total demand is less than total supply, we need to find the difference between the total demand and total supply, add a dummy column with zero cost and demand equal to the difference between these two, and make the problem as a balanced problem. If total demand is greater than total supply, we need to add a dummy row with zero cost and add the supply equal to the difference for making the problem balance. So, any unbalanced problem can be first converted to the balanced problem and then solved by any of the methods given below. Northwest corner rule is considered as the simplest method of solving the transportation problem. This method gives weightage to the position rather than the cost. Steps in this method: check for balance, that is calculate total demand and total availability. If unbalanced, make the problem balance by adding the row or column which is required. Allocate maximum possible at northwest corner. According to the map, we know the upward direction is shown as a north. Obviously, the left hand side of the map becomes the west and therefore left top corner becomes the northwest corner. So allocate maximum possible at this corner. Adjust the demand and supply. Select next northwest corner for allocation. Repeat till all allocations are done. Calculate the cost of transportation. Consider the same problem which we have started with. Here, the northwest corner, the total demand is equal to total supply. So the problem is balance problem and therefore we can go ahead for solution. S1D1 is the northwest corner, the left top corner. Allocate maximum possible at this corner. Demand of this column is 5 units and supply available is 7 units. Maximum we could assign over here is minimum of 5 and 7, that is 5 units. So allocate 5 units at this S1D1 cell. Adjust the total demand and supply remained. Demand is fulfilled, so no more allocations in the column D1. The supply will get reduced to 7 units, to 2 units. Next, once this is done, now there won't be any allocations in D1 column and our next northwest corner will become S1D2. Allocate maximum possible at this point now. The maximum we could allocate is minimum of 8 and 2. That is the demand of this column and the available supply at this row. So we could allocate maximum 2 units to this point. No more allocations in the row S1 as now the supply is fulfilled. The demand will get reduced to 6 units. Now, next northwest corner is S2D2. Here there are 6 units available as the demand and the supply is equal to 9. Therefore, minimum of 6 and 9, that is we could allocate 6 units at this point, reducing the demand to 0. So no more allocations in the column D2 and the supply will get reduced to 3 units. Coming to the next, S2D3 will be our next northwest corner. Allocate maximum possible at this S2D3. Here the demand available is 7 units and the supply is 3 units. So we could allocate maximum possible 3 units to this. Now there won't be any allocations in the row S2. The demand will get reduced to 4 units and next northwest corner is S3D3. Allocate maximum possible at this S3DT. We can allocate all the demand of this destination. So all the 4 units will get allocated and the supply will get reduced to 14 units. Now the last cell left is S3D4 where the remaining 14 units, which is the availability of this source and the demand of this destination, will get allocated. So thus we have done or completed all the allocations over here. Now this is a solution of the problem given with us. To calculate the cost of transportation, multiply allocation with the cost in that cell. So 5 into 19 plus 2 into 30 plus 6 into 30 plus 3 into 40 plus 4 into 70 plus 14 into 20. That is the cost of transportation by solving the transportation problem by northwest corner rule is 1015 rupees. Now, this is the simplest method which we have seen. There are many other methods also available. The second method we could consider is least cost method. In this method, the weightage is given to the least cost of transportation. The steps involved are check for the balance. As obvious, we need to go for the balance first, make the problem balance first, and then allocate maximum possible at least cost of the total matrix. Adjust the demand and supply. Select the next least cost for allocation. In case the least cost is same, select any one of them arbitrarily. As we know, this is the initial solution. We can go for the modification at the latter stage. So we can go with any of the least cost arbitrarily. Repeat till all allocations are done. Calculate the cost of transportation. Considering the same problem, here total demand is equal to total supply. The problem is balanced. We can go ahead. Now, observe the cost. We are having the least cost in the cell S3D2. The cost is 8, which is the smallest or least cost of this matrix. Allocate maximum possible at this S3D2. The demand of this column is 8 units. The supply available at this row is 18 units. So maximum we could allocate is minimum of 8 and 18, that is 8 units. So allocate these 8 units at this point. Now this will reduce the demand of this column to 0, that is there won't be any more allocations in the column D2 and the supply will get reduced to 10 units. No more allocations in column D2. Now, the next least cost is 10 in S1D4. Allocate maximum possible at this cell. The supply of this source is 7 units. The demand of this column is 14 units and minimum of 14 and 7 is 7 units. So maximum we could allocate at this point is 7 units. Allocating 7 units at this cell will reduce the supply to 0. Therefore, no more allocations in the row S1 and the demand will get reduced to 14 minus 7, that is 7 units. Now, after scratching out all the non-available cells, the next lowest cost or least cost is 20. Allocate maximum possible at this point. This is at S3D4. the availability of the source is 10 units and the demand left is 7 units, we can allocate maximum possible 7 units to this point, reducing the supply to 3 units and demand to 0 units. So no more allocation in the column D4 and the supply of S3 will get reduced to 3. Now only 4 cells are left, that is S2D1, S2D3, S3D1 and S3D3. The least cost is 14. Now this 40 is in two cells, that is S3D1 and S2D3, and we can select any one of them arbitrarily. We can select to go for S3D1 to start with. Allocate maximum possible, that is 5 and 3, that is minimum of 5 and 3, that is 3 units, reducing the demand of this destination to 2 units and the supply to 0 units. Only 2 cells are left now in the row S2, that is S2D1 and S2D3. Allocate the remaining allocations in this, that is we can allocate 2 units at S2D1 and 7 units at S2D3. Thus, we have finished up allocations of all. Calculating the cost, 7 into 10 plus 2 into 70 plus 7 into 40 plus 3 into 40 plus 8 into 8 plus 7 into 20, that is equal to 814 rupees. Thus, by northwest corner rule, we have just seen the cost of transportation is rupees 1015 and with the least cost we got it as rupees 814. The transportation problem is basically solved to minimize the cost of transportation and therefore least cost method is considered as better method over northwest corner rule. Now, the next method is Vogel's approximation method. This method gives weightage to the penalty cost for not allocating at minimum cost. Steps involved. Again, check for the balance. If the problem is not balanced, make it balanced. Calculate penalty for each row and each column. Penalty is nothing but the difference between the smallest and second smallest cost of that column or row. Select the highest penalty for allocation. Allocate maximum possible at the smallest cost in the highest penalty column or row. Adjust the demand and supply. Calculate penalties for revised matrix. Repeat steps 4 to 6 till all allocations are done. In case the penalty is same, select any one of them arbitrarily. Again, keep it in mind that this is giving us initial solution. So, we can always go for betterment with the advanced method. Repeat till all allocations are done. Calculate the cost of transportation. Again considering the same problem. Now here I have added a row as well as a column for penalty. Every time we calculate the penalties, we need to add a row and column for the penalty. Now looking at how to calculate the penalty. The first column contains the cost terms as 19, 70 and 40. The lowest one is 19 and second lowest is 40. The difference between 40 and 19 is 21. So 21 becomes the penalty for not allocating at 19 and allocating at 40. Like this, we have calculated penalties for all the columns. The second column contains 30, 30 and 8 as the cost terms, and the difference between the smallest, that is 8, and second smallest, that is 30, is 22. Like this, we have calculated all the penalties. The highest penalty is 22, which is in column D2. Now, we consider this column for allocations in the first case. Now, from this column, we have to select the smallest cost. The smallest cost is 8, which is in S3D2. So, allocate maximum possible at this point. Here, we can allocate maximum equal to minimum of the demand of this column, that is 8, and supply available, that is 18, and minimum of 8 and 18 is 8 units. So allocate 8 units at this point. Now once we did this allocation, adjust the demand and supply. No more allocations in the column D2 as we have fulfilled the demand. The supply will get reduced to 18 minus 8, that is 10 units. Now again calculate the penalties with the adjusted matrix. The penalty for column 1 will remain same. No penalty calculation for D2 as there won't be any allocations here onwards. The penalties for D3 and D4 will remain same. Considering the rows, 30 in the S1 row was not the smallest or second smallest cost, and therefore the penalty for first row remained the same, that is 19 minus 10, that is 9 units. For S2, that is second row, the smallest cost is not available now for allocation. So the second smallest, that is 40 and 60 will be considered for calculation of penalty. So the penalty has changed now to 20. In the third row also 8 is now not available, and therefore 20 and 40 will be the smallest and second smallest cost in this row, and therefore the penalty is 20. So after calculating all these penalties, consider the highest penalty. The highest penalty is 21 in column D1. The lowest cost in column D1 is 19 at S1D1. Allocate maximum possible at this S1D1, that is minimum of 5 and 7, that is 5 units. After allocating 5 units, no more allocations will be left for column D1 and the supply will get reduced to 7 minus 5, that is 2 units. So we have occupied or we have covered destination 1 and destination 2. Now there won't be any allocations in these two columns. Again calculate the penalties. So column D3 and D4 we have not yet touched. So they will remain as they are. The penalties will remain as they are. And for S1, S2, S3, now there will be difference of costs between D3 and D4 columns. So 50 and 10, that is 40 units. 40 and 60, that is 20 units. 70 and 20, that is 50 units. The highest penalty is 50 in row S3. So allocate maximum possible in this row to the lowest cost, that is at 20. The supply available is only 10 units. The demand of this destination is 14 units, and therefore we could allocate maximum possible 10 units to this. So allocate that. This will reduce the supply to 0 of this S3, and therefore no more allocations in the row S3, and the demand will get reduced to 4 units. Now only 2 rows and 2 columns are left. The penalties are also changed. Now the penalty for D3 is 10, D4 is 50, that is 60 minus 10, and for 50 10 it is 40, and 40 60, it is 20. So 50 is the highest demand in column D4 and allocate maximum possible at the lowest cost, that is at 10, which is minimum of 4 and 2, that is 2 units. So once you allocate these 2 units, no more allocations in the row S1 and only 2 cells are left now where we could go for the allocations, and at S2D3 we could allocate all the possible 7 units, and at S2D4 we could allocate the remaining 2 units. Thus, the cost of transportation can be calculated as 5 into 19 plus 2 into 10 plus 7 into 40 plus 2 into 60 plus 8 into 8 plus 10 into 20, that is 779. Comparing these with the northwest corner rule and with the least cost method, Vogel's approximation method has the lowest cost. Thus, Vogel's approximation method is considered as best method to get the initial basic solution. For optimum solution, modified distribution method is used. There are particular cases like unbalanced problem, maximization case, allocation with restrictions, and modified distribution method, or in short MODI method, for which separate videos will be uploaded. Thank you for watching.